Hello, my name is Jason Leahy, Executive Director of the Illinois Principals Association. Thank you for joining me for this special IPA talk because we've got some critical content that we're going to cover. And I am fortunate to have with me Jacqueline Maluzak, who is IPA's account manager with ComPsych. And ComPsych is who IPA has partnered with to provide members our member assistance program. And Jacqueline, sure grateful for your time here to talk about this important service that the association is providing the membership and the good work that ComPsych does. So if you wouldn't mind, could you just share a little bit briefly about yourself and then just ComPsych more broadly?
Sure. So as Jason introduced me, thank you, Jason. I'm the account manager. I am actually located in Tampa, Florida, so I do work remotely. However, my past is, my heart is with education. I was a teacher previously for 10 years. So my hat goes off to all of you for all that you do and all that you do, not only for your colleagues, for yourselves, but especially those children. So thank you. And I am so passionate about working for ComPsych that provides the services and a program for members like yourself who will need services unexpectedly. And we're going to be there for you every step of the way, whether it's from counseling, whether it's from helping out with financial needs, whatever the case may be, we are here for you. So I'm passionate about what you all do, and I'm even more passionate about providing these services to you in your time of need. So thank you for having me, Jason.
Well, it's sure a pleasure. So let's get right into it, Jacqueline, because every time that I'm talking with you or any of your ComPsych colleagues, I'm learning more and more about what this service provides. And I felt like I had done a lot of due diligence already on the front end. But it's so significant, broad and deep that there's just a lot there that I'm sure I'm still have to discover. So if you wouldn't mind, I know you've got a presentation that we could walk through, and
Sure thing.
You go ahead and share your screen with that. I'll turn it over to you to kind of get started, and then if I have questions along the way, I'll pose those. Okay.
Sounds great. Thank you, Jason. And thank you all for your time. I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what these services are, how you can utilize them, and how you can access the services. Just a little bit about ComPsych to get started. So we are globally. We are the leading provider in the employee assistance program services. With that being said, we service anything from critical incident services. So let's say something happened traumatically in your community or God forbid in your schools, we would there to provide support for you along the way. Guidance Resources is actually the product that we produce, and that is through ComPsych, but Guidance Resources is the name of the product. So that's why you see that titled a little bit differently. And that is the all-encompassing umbrella of all the services that we provide. As I mentioned earlier, counseling, anything from parenting, as you see, relationships, work stress, or just how to balance that work life, in your own areas, not only in your life, but in your household member's life. One thing I do want to note here is that these services are not only for you, but anybody that lives within your household. So we like to take the holistic approach of taking care of you. And then when it comes to taking care of you, it's taking care of the people around you as well. So that is one of the things that really attracted me to work for ComPsych, is that, they really understand how to service people, and that servicing just one person may not just be enough. It may be servicing the household for whatever may be going on. Unfortunately, we do have passing of family members or traumatic events that happen. So like I said, it provides that support to not only you, but to anybody in your household. And aside from counseling, as you see, we do have the financial guidance, work-life balance, and a plethora of online resources. Something to note, this is 100% confidential. So you may call in, you may write in, however you choose to access us, just know everything is confidential. We do ask for some voluntary information, such as your age, your tenure with the company. We ask for maybe some demographics, but that's just information for us to provide in reporting, just to see who's utilizing the resources, if it's the members calling in or if it's the household members calling in. And that's the extent of the information that will be requested from you. But as I stated, that is confidential and voluntary as well.
Yeah, and just for full transparency with that, Jacqueline, obviously we've already received some reports from you, and they are very high level. They're aggregate numbers basically, but nothing as an identifier at all. So, and I appreciate that confidential aspect of the service.
Absolutely. And for examples, when you access the online guidanceresources.com, we look and the numbers that we provide are just showing what you're looking at, what you're reading, what issues you're looking into. But you are never on the reports. It's just how many people have visited those specific topics. So it helps us identify trends within the members to provide maybe additional resources or help sheets or flyers geared towards what we're seeing becoming what we call hot topics. So it generates information that for us to utilize to help better service you and what issues and concerns you may be experiencing. So it helps shine a different lens on what you're going through and how we can support that. Great question. And then just to show, this is what you've seen, the flyer that kind of outlines all the information in the services that we provide. As you see, those numbers, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, holiday or not, we are there for you. We have people on staff 24 hours all over the world. As I stated, we are global. So you call us, we'll be there for you. If you don't feel comfortable giving us a call, as you see, we do have that guidanceresources.com. You will be able to set up a user profile. It doesn't ask for your name. And I'll go into that a little bit later. I do have a slide of what to expect when you go on for that first time registration. You will need that company web ID, the IPA map. So that will be used just once for your initial registration. So just super easy. You're getting in there, creating a username. Of course, we ask those security questions and your answers. So if we forget that password, as we often do, because there's so many for us to remember, it's an easy retrieval process for you to get right back in. Something to think about when you're on the website, on the online portal, there's also an app that reflects exactly what that looks like. So let's say you're not by a computer and you're curious or you need to access some of those services, please know that the app, which you'll see a little bit later on in the presentation, is available for you. You'll have that same web ID for your first initial sign-on, and then you'll be all set to have the resources at the touch of your fingertips, which is a great tool. So just to go in a little bit into each of the specific services that we do offer, you see first and foremost, the most important, the confidential counseling. You do have the 5 sessions per person, per issue, per year. And what I really like about this is that unfortunately we know, and I remember from the educational world, when it rains, it pours, right? It's usually not just one thing. It's usually a snowball effect of a couple different things happening or just different variables going on. So I really do like that the counseling services are per person, per issue. So unfortunately, as I mentioned, we do have some unfortunate things happening with family members passing. So it would be providing that grief counseling not only to you, but if those household members need to call in and have those same services for that same issue, those would be different, separate sessions, and it would be their own numbers. So something to definitely note there. And the whole point of this is to really address any of those concerns early on, so they don't become issues or long-term counseling is needed. It's really to help you come and educate you on different strategies and coping mechanisms to help you get through whatever the circumstances may be. But let's say if, unfortunately, you do need that long-term counseling, as oftentimes it may be, maybe the case. Grief looks differently for everybody. So if you do have to transfer into long-term counseling, we will be with you during that process, holding your hand, making sure you are going, trying to keep you with the same network provider or working with your insurance company or community resources and setting you up with the right long-term counseling, transitioning from our counseling to that specific one. So please know we'll be with you every step of the way, even if it means transitioning to long-term counseling.
I gotta say, Jacqueline, like when I was originally talking to others about the service, about ComPsych, and then even with you and those original reps, I just thought it was 5 sessions per person per year, but with it being per issue, that really takes the support here up to a whole different level. And then it also including members of the household. So that's a big deal. And I thought just 5 sessions per person per year was a pretty big deal, but that's quite a bit of support. So we're sure grateful for that.
Absolutely. And we're happy to provide that. I know that just to speak from personal experience in utilizing these services, with COVID and all the impacts, and, unfortunately, there is still that stigma around mental health, really looking at counseling through a different lens is just support. And I like that word that you used, because that's what it is. It's support getting you through whatever the hurdle may be, big or small. It's just to really help you, guide you, and be that little extra help to get you through it. Utilizing the services on my own with a recent move and feeling unsettled and just a lot of moving pieces, something as small as that, I called in for and got some coping mechanisms to really elevate myself and put myself in a different mindset, because just a lot of things going on, just to help me get through that little hurdle. So anything big or small, I want to really emphasize per issue per year. Yeah. So I really like that you noted that out, Jason, because it's a great service. And I think once you reach out to use one of it for one of the issues, something else may come up and you're going to be more prompt to reach out to us again. So I really do like that. Absolutely. On that note, I did want to mention, we all have personalities. We're all different. We don't all necessarily click per se with other personalities. So this is very rare, but I do want to note that if you were to ever call in and for some reason, just like going and visiting a new doctor's office, right, you just may not have that feeling or connection, or the energy is off and you're not getting that click with the network provider. If that ever happens, just call us. We're going to pair you with somebody else, because this is for you. We want to ensure that we're setting you up for success. So just a side note on that, because I know sometimes we can get hesitant to where if we're starting to feel uncomfortable, or instead of, reaching out and letting us know, people will just often not continue the session. So if that ever happens, just let us know. We want to set you up for success.
That's great.
First and foremost. Just moving on a little bit about the financial information and consultation. It's unlimited, which I absolutely love. You can call them all day, every day. They'll answer every single call and answer every single question. There are also not only calling in, but you can also on the website, you can click the financial tab, and there's a way to email questions as well. So if you're not a phone person, or you've been talking all day and you don't want to talk anymore, you do have that avenue to reach out to for financial information and consultation. They can give you education and general guidance on anything from, as we know, tax season is coming up, real estate if you're looking to invest, retirement planning, of course, and then debt and savings. So those are just some of the topics that they touch on, but anything you call in about, small question to big question, they're happy to answer and provide education and guidance. And if they're not able to talk state specific, they're going to guide you to the right resources to help you navigate and finalize your issue.
When we were seeing this presentation as an IPA team not long ago, Jacqueline, I got to tell you that when I saw income tax there, because my wife and I, we do our own taxes, and it's not like they're the most complicated, but we have 5 children and a variety of things going on at home. And so, you just have different little nuances that come up. And of course, the tax code is not the simplest thing on the planet. And so it's like, all right, I don't need to go to H&R Block and spend hundreds of dollars. I may have 1 or 2 questions to kind of help get me through the process here. And so, you mentioning tax season, I'm guessing we may be making a phone call just for that alone.
Absolutely. And the nice thing is that it's ComPsych staff financial experts. So we have hired attorneys, we have hired financial advisors, we have hired CPAs. So it's all in-house. So it's not a third party we're sending you off to. You're calling us and speaking to us, which is something that I love and I believe in. So with that being said, just know it's unlimited access. Like I said, call us every day, call us. And even just for small questions, you're not really sure if it's something you would write in or call in for, do it anyways. we're happy to help and assist you. That's what we're here for.
Awesome.
This lovely work-life balance. I love this program. I love all of our programs, but I love this one specifically because the way I like to explain it is we like to take to-dos off of your to-do list. So this is helping you do the research, giving us a criteria or a budget to find information in your area, find resources. We want to do it for you. So a customer request that I had that I love to share is, and a note here is we will do anything and everything. We will look up anything and everything as long as it is legal and ethical. So we obviously don't want to get in trouble. But,
that's right.
Cool. As long as it's legal and ethical. There was a customer of mine had a request came in. They were planning a surprise retirement party for their spouse. And they needed to know where to rent 40 purple flamingos to place into the front yard.
Oh my.
So we found it. You think that was impossible? Absolutely not. We found it. So
I love it.
Think of us as like a one-stop shop to take things off of your plate, make your to-do list a lot shorter so you can spend your time with loved ones and self-care. And you see some examples on here, childcare, elder care. We even had someone request horse sitting because they were traveling and they had a farm. So they needed someone to come assist with horse sitting, which I didn't know was a thing, but it is. So just thinking outside the box and letting us help you do the things that you really don't have the time to do. And the way that this works is we'll gather 3 to 5 referrals for you, referrals meaning different sources or places. We'll have called and pre-screened and make sure there's availability, making sure within your budget or within a mile radius of your home. So we really love to do this and help you. Home improvements, we'll do research on if you're wanting to redo your entire kitchen, what that would look and sound like. So really exciting. Like I said, as long as it's legal and ethical, we'll do it.
Well, listen, if you're willing to find flamingos, I'm guessing there's not a whole lot that you guys will look for. So that's terrific.
And even planning a vacation, as we all, one is much needed for all of us. But if you're looking to really save some money or really see as far as with the mandates right now, with what's going on, we can do that research for you and let you know what your options are, which is nice. So
awesome.
Reach out to us for sure. So talking a little bit back about that guidance resources online, you see a little snapshot of what it's going to look like when you first sign in. Once you've created that username and created those security questions and answers, you'll be brought to a screen like this. You see that phone app down there. So that app is available, as you see in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store for Android. But once you get signed in, it's just like what you would see online on your desktop or your personal laptop. And you would see all of these resources from click to chat with a guidance consultant. Just a side note, that's during certain business hours, usual working business hours. If it's beyond that time, you can definitely email us and someone will email you back within a reasonable time frame. Even if you're not sure what or where to find the resources online, you can still reach out to us and we'll help you navigate and help you find what you're looking for. You'll see a plethora of topics up there with hundreds of help sheets and tons of on-demand training videos. One of the things that I really like about the on-demand training videos is that it takes video training content and condenses it to a shorter time frame. Since it's only you viewing the material, we kind of take the meat and potatoes and give you the good stuff in a condensed version. So there's audio podcasts on there as well. I mean, it literally blows my mind every time I go on there and continue to look around because I still haven't seen it all and I've been working for ComPsych. So it just tells you how much we have. And as I said, this is all available on the desktop. I highly recommend you save this as a bookmark, as a quick, easy access to jump in, look at it during lunch, see what's out there, see what can help you. There's even a budgeting calculator that I love. So just tons of things on there to check out. And then this is what that screen will look like when you first go on, whether it's the app or the desktop version. You're going to click that register button. And then that's where it's going to prompt you to put in that web ID, which is that IPA map. It'll prompt you to create a registration profile. You've got a username, password. There is an email address that it asks for just in case you forget your name and password. Those lovely security questions and answers, so nobody can get in but you. And as I just want to wrap up and say, we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you don't feel like calling us, check us out on your app or online, and we are ready to service you.
Awesome. Well, Jacqueline, sure appreciates this brief but very thorough overview of the ComPsych services and supports that are available to IPA members as part of our new member assistance program. And we're hopeful that as many members as possible will take advantage of what's available to them with this service. So grateful for the opportunity to partner with ComPsych for this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. And we are excited to start servicing you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacqueline. Again, my name is Jason Leahy, Executive Director of the Illinois Principals Association with Jacqueline Waluzak. Right? I got that right, Jacqueline?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, as I was telling you before we recorded, nobody can pronounce Leahy when they call me for the first time either. So I always know when the telemarketers are calling, but I digress. As always, if there's anything that IPA can do for you, don't hesitate to check us out on the web at www.ilprincipals.org, or you can always give us a call. Take care.